so many people showed up the very first general meeting. I was like, damn.
For BSU?
Yeah,
The thing
I
about
was
BSU
there.
though, it holds a lot of weight, but BSU is really like it caters to like underclassmen.
Yeah,
It's really a big. That's
yeah,
like the big target audience
yeah.
for that. Usually when they get older, it kind of like separates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people have lives, they stuff like that.
We're
19
on.
years old.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Sorry, we on Colored People Time. This is your boy Tajj White. Welcome to Society.
That's tough.
We finna get live. Okay, can we go live? Oh, okay. We are live. And we are live on Instagram. This is Welcome to Society, where we combine the Red Table Talk and the Breakfast Club. Talk your mess, leave some guidance. Today we are collabing with the BSU. We got... I don't know why I want to say Morgan so bad, but that's the other person. All right, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Just say, what your name is, your major, and why you want to be a part of tonight's forum.
My name is Devin Thomas. I am a junior majoring in management information systems, and I wanted to be here tonight because I think conversations like these need to be had and to spread awareness. Also, I think this is really great to bring up, to educate one another. You know what I'm saying? I just like stuff like this, just talking about Black community stuff. So,
cool. My name is Cody Floyd. I'm a sophomore majoring. I kind of was just walking and saw this on the thing. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then Taj explained what this is. So now I'm kind of really interested on just learning new things.
Why are you like this? I'm Amia. I am a junior majoring in management. I am 19.
Management?
Anyways.
She finna manage you right now.
Thank you. I wanted to be here. I like being around like-minded people, talking about Black things. I don't know.
My name is Alan Roy. I'm a freshman, and I'm majoring in kinesiology. And the reason why I wanted to be here is because, obviously, I like talking about stuff like this. I always wanted to be a part of, some red table talk type stuff. But honestly, to really spread awareness on stuff that needs to be talked about. So, yeah.
My name is Sydney Hicks. I'm a junior biology major, and I am here mainly because my friends asked me to be. So.
Okay, right on. We'd love to, get some support around here and bring people along because, who is definitely good. This is saying, your network is your net worth, so network and get that money. Dubbed by Henry. He'll see this eventually. But, yeah, so I do want to just explain a little bit that, it's again, ongoing conversation. So tonight we'll be talking about, topics in the Black community, and it's a lot. So I don't want to go too heavy, but I do want to, bring some light to certain topics. And one of the things that Sherelle definitely brought to my attention is feeling excluded from the community. And I swear she read my mind today because I was just thinking about that out of nowhere. I don't know when, but because I grew up in a very predominantly Hispanic community growing up in Arizona. So I was never around Black people. I had one Black friend, I had one white friend, and that was it. I felt like I know more Mexican music than I know Black music. I just was never around Black people until I got to Houston. Not even that, until when I was in Phoenix College, because even in the military, we're surrounded by so many people. And when I got out and I was in college and I was in the NAACP, that's when I was like, bruh, what the hell where have I been? Like, I love my people. Like, y'all just bring so much energy, so much culture, so much light, and it just made me feel so welcome. Like, I felt like I was a part of a community that I missed out, like, my entire life. So that's something that, if y'all ever felt that way in the community, have y'all ever felt that way?
All right, so I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. Moved to San Antonio, predominantly Hispanic environment in 6th grade. It was quite the difference. I wouldn't say it was terrible, but it took some adjusting, having people comment on my accent and how I needed to talk a different way, going back and forth between code switching and just stuff like
You
that.
sound white.
Literally, like talking to my friends and family from Memphis and being like, you sound so white, and then everybody in Texas being like, that's so ghetto. Which one is it? Like, now I'm confused.
Like,
what do y'all want from me?
What more do you want from me?
I'm lost. So, yeah.
No, I definitely, I got that a lot with my family, and I'm just like, you're older than me, and you can't teach me how to dance or fight, and so now it's your fault that I don't know how to really fight. I can't dance. I don't have no rhythm. I feel like Carlton off of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air right now. And then you want to call me the black sheep. Thanks. Okay. I get it. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people who may feel that way just because of where they grew up, but I also feel like coming into Houston and seeing so many black people, and I feel that I'm still welcomed even though I am different, because there are different types of black people. Like I had a series of growing up in the suburbs versus growing up in the hood, but we're still all like the same people, We still can all have that connection and not miss on any opportunities to network and become friends and share differences. Because, growing up, I listened to rock music. I listened to some alternative rock, Panic at the Disco, and then I also listened to some rap. I may not have no rhythm to that, but, I still listen to it. And I feel like a lot of us can agree that, yeah, I listen to that kind of music. And I'm gonna just say that without shame, because we're still all black at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So, but anybody else want to add on into anything of that?
I'll keep going. That's why I love Houston. Houston reminds me of home without being at home. Memphis is a lot. Houston is kind of like a toned down version of that. And I love Houston. I love being around my people, honestly.
Let me
What do
get
you mean
this
by a
quote.
lot?
What do you know about Memphis? Do you know anything
Nothing.
about it?
No
Okay.
friend there,
So-
Oh, Memphis.
Jeez.
I'm actually going to Nashville in January, so I'm kind of excited to see how Tennessee
I've only
is.
been to Nashville once. I'm gonna be honest. Again, completely different from Memphis. Something that we talk about at home is Memphis is its own little thing compared to the rest of Tennessee. Tennessee is definitely white Confederate area. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's bad.
Well then,
Very bad. Like,
that's so
KKK
crazy because a lot
still-
of my friends
Mhm.
who were in the military, they end up like moving out to Tennessee that were stationed in like Tennessee, Kentucky area.
Uh-huh.
They end up moving to either or. So that's really crazy that
Yeah.
they still got that. I mean, it's not surprising, but
KKK
I would have like
still
never known like
prevalent.
Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, all that. But
No, yeah, there's.
I
still
would
a
have
thing.
thought Tennessee was more of like home on the range type bullshit.
No, like racism is bad.
Dang.
Worse than here?
I wouldn't say worse, but there's definitely.
Okay,
a bit of
but is it like
competition.
the outskirts or is it like full blown Tennessee?
Tennessee?
Oh,
Again,
damn.
there's Memphis, and then there's everything else. But yeah, Memphis, black crime. What? Huh? You said you want to go visit?
I didn't want to see.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm trying to find
be
out.
my guest.
Sounds fun.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that? But yeah, Memphis, let's see. We're the home of the blues. I will say that. Bill Street, lovely place for like 10 minutes. Elvis Presley, yes. What is it called? Graceland. Yeah, that. It's whenever it's his birthday or any anniversary like that, beware, white people would be all around that specific area.
Damn.
There in Bill Street. It's just they're everywhere.
So you grew up, but there are Hispanics in Tennessee.
Not really.
So
honestly.
you more
Like,
so grew up like predominantly white area
where?
in Tennessee.
No.
No, but you grew up in black.
Yes, Memphis, black. It was, yes, everywhere. I promise to God, everywhere you go, you just gonna see somebody. If you see somebody white, I'm gonna be honest. It's typically a crackhead. Like, no exaggeration. I am so serious. Every white person that you see, unless it's what is it? Germantown. Germantown is the rich white area.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, if you see a white person, they're typically cracked out. I'm gonna be real.
Did any of
It's
y'all? So
bad.
did any of y'all grow up in like the suburbs or hood area? So you grew up in suburbs.
I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in Dallas, but
Oh,
I'm from like this city called DeSoto.
Dallas.
It is predominantly black, like literally.
but it's north of Texas.
I heard.
Yeah, it's North Texas.
So North Texas, I feel like that's a little suburby. But is there any like hood concept to it? Just like, is it? It's
And
all black, but it's like prestige black.
I feel like the city I was from, DeSoto, I feel like it's a predominantly black, but it's a lot of like middle class black individuals. The schools are bad, but like the way it is, it's like, okay, DeSoto is literally south of Dallas, but it's right under like the hood areas.
Yeah.
So a lot of those students come to my schools.
Um,
I'm not gonna lie, I had a ball at my high school though.
Of course, as you should.
I had a ball
Period.
though. DeSoto. I had a ball. I mean, the fights, the everything.
But
it was just
would you
like-
say, yeah? So growing up in that area, would you say it had a significant impact on how you looked towards black people? Because I know there's people that grew up in the suburbs, and they, look down upon certain people that are in the hood, and they're just like, why can't you make it out the hood? Why would you want to stay there? And they're just like making this money, and they're wondering why people who are in the hood are upset with them because they bougie.
Honestly, it didn't change my output because literally, it's hard because I'm still in a situation where I still am around a lot of black people.
Yeah.
So I personally have never had a white friend. I never had a white friend. Literally, like, I've never had a white friend. I played soccer. Of course, I had my teammates, but they were teammates. They're not somebody I would like be friends with. Like,
Right.
genuinely, I grew up with all black people, so I can't really speak so much about that because I've never been put in like a different environment. Obviously, I've been in
yeah.
environments like that, but like for a long period of time, I've never had to be like in that environment. So it's a little different.
And do you think that, like, obviously there's a big part of colorism in our community.
Yeah.
Would you think that, like, if you were to go into the hood, that would, like, make you feel different or look different upon anybody that's in the hood? Or is it just, like, a same, like, I know I'm black, so you still gonna be like, what's up?
I mean, yeah, I'm black. Like, I personally don't ever want to put myself in the category
Yeah.
of colorism because I am light skinned.
Yeah.
I don't experience colorism. Simple as that. And people try to do that, put that like, oh, I'm too light for this and yada
Yeah.
yada. But honestly, look at yourself in a bigger perspective and how just because of your skin tone, you're put on a higher pedestal than people of darker complexion.
Right.
So I'm always cognizant of the whole, like, of everything that's involved, not just that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You had something?
Yeah, I mean, my experience is different because I was in a suburb, but mine was predominantly white. And,
Okay.
that was, like, I grew up there, but, like, everything else was. So my school and where I lived is in the suburbs, but, like, my church and my family, they were all in the hood.
Oh, okay.
So it was like.
You still had that, like,
It was 50-50. So I
black
had both.
culture, because I feel like people who say they grow up in the suburbs, they miss out on that black culture aspect, and then like they get looked at differently because they grew up in a white area, and they're just like, oh, you think you better than everybody, when in really in reality, first of all, I didn't choose to grow up where I
Yeah.
grew up.
That's exactly how it was. Like, family and, like, church. It would be like, I'll go to church and they'll be like, like, my whole family will be like, oh, they talk white. Oh, you talk white. And then my name Coog.
What does that even mean?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
like, can't we just like? Why do I gotta be able to
Yeah, go
talk
ahead.
white?
I mean, because I feel like half of the time, like they always think, like whenever you see a black person, obviously like your stereotypical thing is to be like, oh, he a ghetto, he a thug, this, that, and the third. But I mean, like, you know, our parents raised us differently
Yeah.
to be proper in this society, because when we come across stuff like that,
Come
we
on in,
won't-
y'all. Come on in.
yeah, when we come across stuff like this, we're not gonna have that certain issues. So I mean, just because you see me immediately and you want to say, oh, he a thug or something, but I'm a very proper person. I
Right.
carry myself.
And that's that thing. That's that microaggression BS. Like, I actually experienced that before, and I didn't even know. I really just thought she was complimenting me, but she was like, "Oh yeah, you talk so proper. You would do good as like a new news anchor person. You talk really well." And I didn't even realize that microaggression was happening right there to me. I really just took it as a compliment. Like, I'm just like, thanks. Like, I appreciate that, because I do have a speech impediment. Like, I sometimes my words like don't come out properly. They don't come out right. So it felt like that was a genuine compliment. But knowing that was microaggression, I was just like, you do realize we know English. We're not. This ain't the slave days, okay? We not okay. And that's what I'm also happy that we actually have our own language. You know, Ebonics, here we go. AAVE, Ave, that's how you pronounce it? Yeah. I'm happy that we do have that, and we are confronting that. Like, we're saying, like, no, this is how we speak, because it's our own language towards each other. And so we created that because that's a cultural aspect, and we're bringing that back. So we're not talking ghetto. We're not talking proper. This is our own way of how we speak to our people.
So was born in Memphis, moved to San Antonio in 2015. Like I said, drastic difference going from everyone around me being black, speaking a certain way, to white and Hispanic people, and the few black people that I did encounter were, you know, quote unquote proper. Some of them thinking that they're on this pedestal, and even them talking down on me because of the way that I spoke and stuff like that. And going back to something that you said earlier about people, or especially black people in suburban areas, looking down on black people who were born in the hood. At the end of the day, we're all black, whether you want to admit to it or not. We're all black. We bleed the same. We look the same. You're going to be profiled the same by the cops. It's just, it is what it is. And I think that just because they have money, just because they have that status and stuff like that, they think that they're so different, but you're not. And would you like to add anything?
Oh, was that the question you were asking me earlier?
What was the question?
Like the like black individuals from the suburb look down on like.
Yeah, so like, I know that you personally wouldn't do that, but have you like been in a situation where people look at you and they're just like, oh, you must think you're better than me? Mainly also too because you're light skinned. And I know that learning in, you know, this isn't just our culture either. It's in like the Hispanic community too. And learning why they did that back when they were colonized, because they needed to be put on that higher pedestal. They had no choice because they were colonized and because we were colonized, and we just like, okay, we got to be like them if we want to, like, you know. But have you ever been in that situation where people are like, oh, you think you're better than me?
Not me personally. How would I say it? Oh, not me personally, no. Cause my family didn't always really have money.
Yeah.
They had to work to do that, to get that. No, not really. I don't think so. But I know people who have talked down on people like that though, like who don't have the resources and like make them feel bad. I think that's another thing within my high school. I think even in somewhat HBCU cultures, what they wear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kids like that, you have those type of students who have all the money and they have nicer clothes than
Yeah.
students that don't. But at the end of the day, that could be taken away from you.
I feel like they forget too, like, where they came from. And I get it, like, well, first of all, If you are just now tuning in live, welcome to society. We have 2 more guests that just popped in on Colored People Time. Introduce yourselves. What's your name and why you want to be on this show tonight, and maybe your major. Yeah, your major.
Hey, I'm Morgan. Is it on? Hello.
It's on.
Hello.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I'm Morgan. I'm on BSU's e-board. I'm the director of community outreach, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Lamont. I'm a sophomore. I major in public health, and I'm here because Morgan brought me.
I'm actually glad that you are here, Lamont, because we definitely had this conversation about feeling left out of the community. That was like what I first started off with, is one of the things that how I felt in the beginning of my life, felt out of the community, because I grew up in a very predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, and there was just this disconnect. Like, I remember telling you, like, whenever I'm around black people, I'm just like, I kind of feel weird, but am I supposed to feel that way? I'm supposed to feel like I'm like, these are my people, you know? And I'm also awkward, so there's just that. I think it's just the awkwardness of, you know, trying to get involved, because whenever, like, I'm around black people and they play certain music, I'm just like, okay, but I don't know that song because I don't listen to that kind of music, you know? Yeah. And it's just like, you know, a weird feeling and a weird sense, but I'm also like, we got this. We be vibing, we be, you know, jumping around, having a good old time, and our culture is just, you know, bringing us out. But one of the things that I wanted to highlight is, you know, growing up in certain areas, and not only just that, but like black men, black women, and, you know, the struggles that we all go through, you know, each of us. And I know that one of y'all wanted to also bring up mental health within black men, and I wanted to chime in on that, as well as the struggles of being a black woman and also being a black queer non-binary person, you know, the queer people in the black community. And there's just, you know, certain topics that need to be highlighted within our community, because there's no conversations that are being had about these specific topics that they need to be had.
About what?
Oh, by the way, thank you, Sherelle. I know you behind the scenes. Also, thank you, Sherelle, for them Honeyland tickets. Honestly, thank you to Sherelle and to Chris for rebranding Coog Radio. Y'all definitely have put us on the spotlight. You know, more people want to join my show, want to hear more about my show. And, you know, finally broadcasting it on live for the first time, you know, never being able to do that before. And just, this is more on my creative side. Like, this ain't, you know, if it pops off, then, hey, you know, I might just go on with it and continue to do it as a podcast. And if it don't, it'll just be a mini series.
I kind of wanted to talk about what you brought up with, like, the class divide between black folks. You're talking about how you kind of felt like some people feel like you've been talked down upon in a conversation that kind of like,
yeah.
I definitely experienced that more, but it's more so when I came to like higher education. I'm a first gen student, stuff like that, and I just be having moments because I guess the kind of people I don't not necessarily people that hang around, but you know, people that I am around, I'm kind of like, oh Lord, y'all ain't grow up poor. Y'all grow up poor. Y'all know you're on the pilgrim, huh? Oh, oh. So yeah, back to that and like having that feeling. That's definitely kind of like a new feeling for me because I'm from Beaumont, and a lot of people don't know about Beaumont, but Beaumont, so you do know about Beaumont.
I mean, I'm not from Texas, but I do know that there are specific areas in Texas where it's predominantly suburby, predominantly black, and just a lot of gentrification going on, unfortunately. And I'm seeing the differences between like 5th Ward, 3rd Ward, 2nd Ward, and then River Oaks. But we're not going to talk about River Oaks because we already know. But yeah, just like if you've ever experienced or been in that situation where anyone's like looked at you like you are better than them, you must talk white, just because, and it's mostly also not just because of where you live, but because again, we are affected by colorism. And taking like a race, gender, ethnics class this year has led me to be aware. Like a lot of people say, oh yeah, our first black president was Obama. Shirley Chisholm, y'all. Shirley Chisholm, she was the first black woman who was running for president. But if you look at her tone, she's more of a darker complected. So if you notice, like, people who are the very first black people, you know, and so that's also something that is not highlighted because we don't notice because we're all black at the end of the day, yes. But
there's definitely different experiences that come with how you look.
Yeah.
So, and I like that you brought that point because you're absolutely right. A lot of like the major faces when we think of like, let's say the civil rights movement, for example, most people when you bring up like, oh, who's your favorite? Who's your Rosa Parks, Angela Davis, those types of people, and then even like one of the first groups that were kind of like the face of like black liberation, the civil rights movement, the Black Panther Party. The women, if you look at the women who were like the most prominent in the group, they were light skinned, things like that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like they've been made the face, but I feel like the true people who have been doing the most important work in the community and who have truly come up with like the more important theories, social theories and stuff that have like kind of propelled us forward, they're not, you know what I mean?
Right. And it's really interesting too because we were just watching an episode of Know Your Roots. I think it was called Know Your Roots with Angela. She was a Hold on, pause.
I got you.
Oh. Yeah.
Hello.
How was y'all's day?
What's going on?
What's your favorite food?
Bro, goddamn. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So it'd be like time's up. So I have to cut that off.
I forgot my password, so I can't do it.
I'm not gonna lie though, but actually I do have something to say about the whole, being judged and all that. So I know I grew up in the hood most of my life in Acres Home and stuff, if y'all do know where that is. Yeah, rough neck of the woods or whatever, but I mean, going to the school, I went to Eisenhower High School. I mean, even going down there, like, I guess I don't know why we had this sort of thing where it's like, light skin, dark skin, this, that, and the third. Like, say for instance, you looking at a guy like me or Devin or something, you be like, oh, like the person y'all look at us whenever they see us is, oh no, he a light skinned pretty boy. Like he not about nothing. He not finna do nothing or whatever can that be. And you laughing, but it's true. And then it's just like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm like, you not just finna judge me off of the color of my skin, bro. Cause I'm like, hey, I'm just like you, bro. I bleed the same as you. I do all the other stuff the same as you. So like, nothing really makes us different. We black. We just all a different shade. So I don't know, like, what's the whole thing about? Oh no, I'm gonna sit here and judge this dude just off his complexion. I'm like, nigga, you don't even know me. Like, you don't know me as a person. Like, at the end of the day, I'm like, you get to know me, like, bro, we like cool people. So I'm like, we gotta be more united than we are divided.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Somebody on live, let me see what they said. They said, flip the question, have you met someone who speaks in a manner that you could just not stand to listen to?
What do you mean? Wait, what?
I don't know what that means, but
I guess like what, like
they sound ignorant, like they treating you like you're dumb.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll say like some of my others, like, cause I ain't gonna lie, I never really had no white friends or whatever the case may be. I was always around black folks, but I mean like one time like some stuff happened. Me and my mom moved to Jersey Village, whatever the case may be. Then I went to like a predominantly like white school, so I was like, all right, cool. And so it was in class, it was some stuff going on, and then I was like speaking to the teacher, whatever. He looked up behind me, he just started looking at me like all weird and stuff, whatever the case may be. And he's like, man, like, why the hell you talk like that, bro? Like, why you always talking like you from the ghetto or something? I'm like,
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Honestly, I used to get corrected by my counselor. I think about this in high school. She would always correct me if I would say be like or, certain things, and she would correct me. And it never really clicked in my head till like, while back growing up. And I was like, that's how we talk though. That's how we speak to each other. So what do you mean? Like, why are you correcting me? Just let us talk how we gonna talk. That's the thing. Like, I don't think there's a such thing as talking ghetto. If that's how we communicate because that's what we've been put through, then let us communicate like anybody else is going to communicate. What is like, there's obviously a level of professionalism, but if we just communicating with each other, then that's slang.
Yeah, it's funny y'all like mention that because it's like when my mom and my dad are like, I say they're the same, but they're different at the same time. which I guess is good. They compliment each other, I guess. But it's funny because my mom, she used to always, still do, correct the way we talk. Like, it's not, ain't, it's not this or that. Like, she'll always correct the way we talk. And it used to be so annoying. And I guess it kind of, like, stuck with me now because now it's like, that's not how you say that. And then my dad, on the other hand, he just don't care. Like, he put S's on everything, names and stuff. Just butchering names, don't care. Because, like, both my parents, they're both from South Park. And they both went to, like, the same schools, which is interesting. And it's just funny how, like, my mom, she was a straight A student all the way through school and all that stuff. And then my dad was, like, the complete opposite. And so it's, like, the way, like, I was just kind of reprimanded by my mom about my speech compared to my dad about my speech. It was like, you know, he talked like anybody, you know, any black person for real. Like, yeah, they've been more, like, since we live in the suburbs, it's more, like, I don't even know how to say. I don't want to say tamed because I feel like that's just not a good word to say, but it's not very. I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's weird because like I don't really get reprimanded by the way I talk by other people, as in like my white friends, because it's like.
So you saying your parents try to stop you from like saying certain things?
Yeah, it was more my parents
I feel like
anything.
First of all, goddamn Siri.
Mostly my mom does.
I feel like they're trying to like protect you from something. Yeah, like they wanted to like not necessarily train you to do certain things, but it's the same thing as, you know, Mexicans not teaching their kids Spanish because they're afraid that, you know, they might get pulled over and they're trying to like Americanize you. And I think that's, you know, something that we've had to deal with is the more American we are, the better we're off, you know. But in a sense, it was hindering us from knowing our true identity and our true culture at the same time, unfortunately, until we get around certain black people.
For me, it wasn't like I was hindered personally because, like I said, everything I did at school, like, or in Kingwood is where I'm from. I'm from Kingwood, which is right next to Humboldt.
Ooh, okay,
you know where that is?
Yeah.
So
way up
it's
north.
like, yeah, it's kind of far. But it's like I went to school there and I played my sports there, but everything else was not there. Like it was either in South Park or Acres Homes. That's where I was predominantly. So it was like I would get like made fun of over there, like at church or like at my camps or whatever, or with my grandparents still do.
Yeah.
About like the way I talk and everything. But like when I'm around everybody, it's like I'm chilling. Like they don't really talk about the way I speak anymore.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I definitely always got that. Are you gonna date someone black?
Oh yeah,
bruh.
Oh God.
I mean,
like,
personally,
bruh.
That's my flavor. Personally.
Every single time, they're like, "Why ain't you dating anyone?" I'm like, I have.
I understand though. I do.
I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, like, that's not what I'm attracted to. Like, you know, I mean, I have dated like 2 black women before, but it didn't work out. So here I am. And my girlfriend's probably watching on right now.
I wanted to bring back the point. My mom used to do that, but it can be seen as a way to colonize, but it also can be a way to correct like incorrect language. Like in a way, when you're young, obviously you around like my family. They speak like my mom's from Mississippi, my dad's from Houston, so it's like they're from like areas where they have that AAVE. I'm not saying Ave. I be saying Ave, but like but yeah, they speak like that. But it builds like habits. If you're speaking like that from a young age and you continue to speak like that, you build habits of not like the way you write sentences, also stuff like that. And then when you go into interviews, not saying you have to be like, you know, like code switch, but like it shows you how to like properly say things. Like I'm not gonna be like, why do you want this job? I want this job because like, you know what I'm saying? I would say that about with a friend, but like I wouldn't say that like in front of like an interviewer.
Yeah, there's like a level of like
setting.
professionalism.
Because like they would like try to shut you down. Because I know that's one thing my mom told me. Like when I went to my first interview, she said, "Yeah, I understand. Like you got slang and all that, but when you go up in here, like
Put on that customer
out-
service.
Yeah, she told me
voice.
she told me like, you know, pull out the white bag and then do whatever you got to do. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, I don't really feel like I'm gonna have to change the way I am for myself. I mean, I can switch it from now and then, but I mean,
Right.
If you get what I'm saying.
That's interesting. I feel like I switch it like opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, interview time, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I already sound white, so I don't even try to like sounding like black or anything. And it's like I said, I'm like naturally awkward. So even when I say something, it's like, oh, my bad.
Oh, well. On the conversation of Ave, which I say Ave too.
Yeah,
That's,
I say
it's Ave.
Ave?
Yeah, where you got Ave from?
I don't know.
Where you-
Ave, Ave. I don't know how to pronounce it.
But yeah, like Ave. This is like a African American vernacular English.
Yeah.
So
Ebonics.
yeah. So
Pretty
basically,
much.
like on that conversation, this is a completely different conversation, and I feel like it kind of goes into how like it's not respected as a dialect, as its own form.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
talking. It's not respected as a dialect, its own form of talking, and that it goes into like this even bigger picture of how Black American culture isn't respected as its own culture, because it is so hyper visible. It's everywhere. Black American culture is everywhere. It's in Korea now. They rapping.
No, literally.
They rapping about the streets of Seoul. Like, you know, I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay.
Now they bringing drill.
Girl, they rapping drill and Busain. Like,
No,
it's
they
like,
literally
okay.
do have rap in like
it's everywhere,
every
and
culture.
it's just like, and I really feel like Black Americans, we don't really give ourselves enough credit for how amazing our culture is, the real true roots of it, and we don't really. It's
especially in music.
yeah, it's not given the same respect as it is like as it being just the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another one thing I don't understand too is so many people that grow up in the ghetto, like other than black, and they just automatically have like this ghetto voice. But if you growing up in like a white or an Asian or a Mexican, like I'm not speaking like that. I'm still gonna speak black. Like how is that even a thing? That's what I don't understand is people who aren't of color and they grow up in the hood and they all claiming like, yeah, this and that. First of all, you still can't say the N-word, so
That-
please.
I was literally I was about to ask that. 'Cause I
So
had a
and then
conversation with
what
somebody.
even is like what terminology of oh yeah I grew up in the ghetto so now I'm ghetto, like what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Would you say that to your mom?
Exactly.
Every time I hear like a person, I'm sorry, like I used talking about like particularly like when non-black people say certain things, speak a certain way.
Yeah, because they grew up in the hood.
Do you talk like that to your parents?
Exactly.
You definitely do not talk like that to your parents. You do not
With your family. What?
you do not talk like that to your mom.
That's
You
how it
do
was
not
at
refer to
school
your
for
you do not.
me. That's how
They
it was. That
they
was-
never you don't.
Okay, but my question is, okay, do y'all let like brown people say it?
No.
Okay,
Why? What-
I'm just me.
I
I'm
know
like,
some
you know
people
what?
do, but
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If they're like my very close friend, and they're like of Mexican or like Hispanic, I'd be like, they don't even like say it like that. Rarely, but if they do, I'm not gonna be like, you know, I'ma just be like,
you know,
alright,
okay,
but-
okay. You know what? You know
That
what?
ethnicity,
I feel
that
like-
ethnicity
But it's
part's
like
so
on a
white.
friendship level. If it's someone I don't know, then I'm gonna be like looking
You know
at them
what?
kind of weird.
Okay. You know what I'm thinking about? I feel like I get what you're saying because you don't want to, you know, like say anything to your friends, ruin the type of dynamic
Yeah.
or anything. But you know, don't invalidate your feelings when that type of thing
Yeah.
comes
Right.
up. Because when they say it, even in that context, that's telling me that they don't have knowledge on respect
Right.
or why they shouldn't be
Right.
saying
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So it's like it's a minor issue when it kind of comes up, but really you got to think about all the implications that them saying it has,
Right.
and what this type of value. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my best friend, he's Hispanic, and he's from, what's that? Oh, shoot, not A-Leaf, Aldine area. So that's where they all grew up saying
Right.
it. But, you know, like I told him, I was like, I don't appreciate that. And he was like, oh, okay. Because, like, as a friend, he respects me and he respects the way I think and feel about that. And he don't say it around me. His cousins and all that, they might still say it.
Right.
You know,
Like
he
you
doesn't
say it around
me.
each other, okay,
Yeah,
but
I don't,
like
I
you know, don't bring it
that.
up.
Like, I remember
Yeah.
white friends asking me, "We're close enough now, right?" Can I
And then
First of all, no.
yeah,
I'm sorry if you white. No, just absolutely
and
not.
then
It just
another-
sounds too cringe at this point. Like nah.
yeah, they think it's comfortable saying that word. I don't like it. Like I said, I play soccer. Experienced
Right.
it. I actually have fought people because of that.
Right. I mean, like to me, like, yeah, I think it's just me not like saying anything because of the friendship, and it like I said, I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. So when they say it sounds like, I don't want to say it sounds natural, but it's if you white, then it just sounds weird.
Oh, yeah.
Like it just sounds automatically weird. I'm just like, please don't say that. But if you if you brown to me and it's like you're my friend, I don't even know how to have that conversation because it's like, where do I even begin? Like, hey, why are you? They're to their defense is, well, I grew up in the hood, like, but that don't mean.
I guess a white person can say that.
And it's really important. Like some people genuinely don't know, and so like it's important to like sometimes educate, and it's really. But like I'm gonna be honest with you, and then some people who do that, they like to bring up the fact that they have their long lost family member who's black.
Right.
And it's just like it's like all right now, like come on now.
Right.
I see you in your type 1, type 2 here.
Right.
Like, come on.
Right. Now. It is crazy though how mixed we are. Again, I did take a Mexican American like history class, and some of us did migrate to that area, but that still doesn't like give them the premises because they're no longer black. You're a descendant of our ancestors, technically of our ancestors. So you're you all have your own slang and lingo and stuff. And maybe, some people say, well, you get to call me this. Okay, I'm not going to do that, though, because that's in y'all's culture. We have our culture. Y'all have y'all culture. Great. Y'all could appreciate it, from a distance. But if you don't say it around me, because we need to have that conversation. And I rarely even hear it anymore. But growing up is, that's where it comes around. Like, growing up is just like, okay, I'm not used. I'm used to this because I'm in this area that I grew up in. But now I'm of age where it's just like, okay, that's actually not okay for you to be dropping that.
Yeah, and like in San Antonio, pretty much everyone says it. And I'm a pretty non-confrontational person, so like if you don't say it around me, I'm not gonna beat you up for it. But I am gonna tell you, like, I don't like that you say it. I don't like that you use it. But I can't exactly stop you from saying it when you're not around me.
Yeah.
And some stuff did go down at our high school, but I'm gonna let her talk about that.
Okay, so there was this trend on TikTok in 2021 where people would take pictures of people in their like they went to their school and they would be like, pose like this person if they are non-black and they say the N-word. So 3 different people in my class did the trend. I posted the videos on my spam. My spam was public at the time. Probably not the best idea, but my spam was public. So I posted it, whatever. I didn't expect it to like blow up, but somehow mind you, our school was very small. We had 400 people or 400 students in all classes. Like all together, there were 400 students. So from our school and other schools in the district, it just got everywhere. It blew up because the people that were featured in the video or videos felt as though they had the right to say it. There's this one kid, white. He's had a history of being racist. He
thought it was a good idea.
Yeah. So, no. And mind you, even after that senior year, like
that's crazy.
Because of those posts, because that happened junior year. Because of those posts, they formed their own friend group based on everybody that was featured in those posts. They have a entire, mind you, most of them are still friends. I have a friend who goes here now. He's black and was defending them, and I stopped being friends with him because of that. I was just like, why? Because on top of them saying the N-word and being racist, they just made blatantly racist jokes. He was the butt of their jokes because he was black. And I was like, you don't feel any sort of way? And he was like, they don't mean it like that. They do mean it like that.
They do.
That's why they're saying they do mean it like that.
They have a humiliation kink.
Oh my goodness.
Literally.
And disclaimer, I don't even like necessarily, I haven't heard it since recently because my tattoo artist, and he was like, oh yeah, no, people, I say it around people and they don't care, until one time like he dropped it around some black girl that was getting her tattoo done, and she was like, what did you say? Don't be saying that, like, and
that's what I said.
And it didn't occur to me because I haven't heard anybody other than a black person say it in so long that now when somebody of a different color, I'm just like, you know what? that don't sound right.
No, literally.
That don't sound
Or
right.
not even. I'm just like, okay, you're gonna say that around the wrong person. You're gonna get
Exactly.
your ass beat.
Exactly.
Then what?
And I tell them that too. I'm like, y'all say it so loosely that
You be saying it more. They be saying it more than black
Yeah.
people sometimes.
exactly.
I know
It's
some black
so
people. I'm sorry.
loosely.
On it, y'all talking about like kind of like suburban black people. Certain black people, it sounds funny when they say it. So I'm like, what are you saying it for? Like, what are you? So I'm like,
Matter of fact, I'm not gonna lie, I have something to add on to that. So I ain't gonna so, like whenever I said I moved to Jersey Village for a little while and I went to the school and then like I just like it was after football practice or whatever, and then like obviously I'm around a whole bunch of white kids, bro. And I'm like, first of all, I don't fit in with none of these dudes, bro. I'm like, this is not, how'd I say it? Like, this is not my clan. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be around these dudes. Whatever the case may be, I'm over here packing up, getting ready to leave, and then this one dude, I think his name was like Connor or something. That's a typical white name. I ain't gonna lie to you, but yeah, it was like something was going on or whatever. And then he was like, bro, look at this nigga, bro. And then I was like,
What?
like I immediately, I stopped what I was doing and
All right.
I stopped what I was doing and I like
Go
turned
say
around.
bye to Mr. Devin. For some reason, I kept calling him Morgan. I was like, wait, that's not right. But Morgan it can be a guy's name.
Yeah, so then whenever you said that, I'm like, bro, hey, chill with that stuff. Like, bro, like you can't be saying that. You talking about something. What's wrong with me saying nigga? And he said again, I'm like, bro, chill, bro. And he was like, or what? He said, what, you finna do something about it? I'm like, all right, bet. And I ain't gonna lie, a tussle happened.
Yeah.
That all you need to know is that nigga didn't win.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, I got suspended for a little while, but I'm like, my mom was telling me I was in the right for what I did. I'm like, bro, you can't just be like saying that.
Yeah, and there's this I think it was a TikTok where it was a news anchor person that was like, y'all want to say it so bad? Go ahead, say it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a skit though.
Word. Wow.
He was like, say it.
Yeah, I'll say it with you. Like, it's just, it's really wild. And then there's always those people that are like, well, if you don't want us to say it, then you shouldn't say it. Like, that's not the point at all. People can take a word that was used against them and change it into a positive connotation and use it towards people to say in a friendly way. That doesn't mean you have the same capabilities of doing that too. Like, who are you even saying that to, first of all?
So, two things. Still tying back to that same Instagram post. Back to the whole tussling thing. There was somebody, don't even know who it is, complete stranger, who just commented nigger on the post. Knew that he was white.
Not the
found
hard
his
ER.
School. No, literally. Found his school, responded. So do you go to this school? Don't play with me. I will get you kicked out. Please stop playing with me.
Literally.
And then there's this other kid. So at the time in my bio, I had a reference to a video, and it was this black dude. He was like, sometimes I really wish I had like a really white name, whatever. And he was like, call me Gilbert, nigga. And so I put that Gilbert. And so I had
Gilbert
that,
is crazy though.
I had that in my bio. This dude, he took a screenshot of, he didn't really comment on the post, and I wasn't following him at the time. And so somebody sent it to me like hours later, but he took a screenshot of my bio and posted on his story and was like, you can say it, but we can't. And I responded. I was like, Joseph, look at my skin tone and look at yours. I'm black. I'm black. You're not. And he's like, okay, but I'm still a minority. Mind you, he's Hispanic. He's Mexican.
Right.
That man looks like a white man. Mind you, he
Oh my
joined a
God.
white frat and all. I was just like, Joseph,
Hey,
what are
yo,
you talking
I'm not
about?
gonna lie. I met somebody.
Look
He
I
was
will
my
show
he
y'all
was my
Joseph right
my
now,
Lyft
as a matter
driver,
of fact.
and he, mind you, he was white, and he was like, yeah, I'm half black and white, and I'm like, where's the black?
the difference
You're-
between an ethnicity and race. A lot of people don't know that.
I'm just like,
So true.
yeah, no. But anyway, hold on, because you can't be in the background. You got
You
take
got
over
anything to say?
Devin's seat right over here. He done popped in. He's been in the background for the longest. We gotta introduce yourself, your name, your major, and why you're here tonight, sir.
So I'm Jaden. I'm a senior majoring in MIS, and I'm here. I mean, I was here just to vibe, but I got a couple things to say. So I went to a white high school, and I was around a lot of people who was like, "Hey, bro, can I say it?" No. And sometimes, like in songs, like when nigga comes up, they'll be like.
That's crazy.
Wait,
I mean, I think it's just real crazy that they like people really just want to say it just to like feel some type of way. Like, why is it gonna make you feel enlightened? You gonna start this like you just like turn black and stuff like, bruh.
Wait, has anyone ever asked you for like an N-word pass?
Bruh.
They had people going around my middle school talking about they had to pass, and I was like, I'm taking it from you. You don't have it no more. You don't have. No, I was what? Y'all talked about touching people over the N-word. I slapped somebody over it, and like in the middle of in middle school. In middle school, it was in middle school. In middle school, I was wild. I did not care. I was assertive. I had what I had to say, and I was gonna say it in the middle of class. Pop. No. I said say it again. He said it again.
Damn.
I remember like the mixed people will give them the passes, right? Yeah, that's my friend. I don't care. And they'll come up to me. I was like, well, I got it from them. And I'm like, well, they ain't around. Don't say it around me.
Right.
I don't know why they gave it. Well, can you give it?
I mean, it's real crazy because again, like where I grew up, I didn't like hear it a lot, and so it never really like occurred to me how much power that it really had growing up in that specific area. And even it was just every once in a blue moon where I would hear somebody that's not black that would say it, and I'm just like, you know what?
Same thing with the whole in middle school. I don't condone violence.
I I'm not the confrontation type.
And I'm not I am here representing.
I don't condone violence
union.
anymore.
I do not condone any type of violence.
I don't condone any violence either. Okay, just so you know.
People.
However, in middle school, I definitely did. There was this. I was having a conversation with my friend who is also black. This Hispanic kid comes up to me and just mid-conversation, out of nowhere, he just goes, nigger. And I was like...
Not the hard ER.
I like stopped.
Where did you go to school?
A significant
did you go to
difference.
School in downtown? No.
At this point.
No, it's in San Antonio. Yes, Mexicans coming up to... Yes. So I like stopped. I turned to my friend. I was like, did he just... She just stopped. She looked at me. She was like, "Go ahead." I was like, "Bet." I got up, smacked him, and he got mad. And then he started balling up his fist. I was like, "What are you gonna do?" You came up to me, unprovoked,
right?
And just called me out my name. Literally,
right.
You don't know
Right.
My teacher is black. She saw the whole thing happen, and as soon as that happened, she just went, "Ooh."
Hey, wait, y'all seen that episode of Boondocks?
Which one?
Oh, we're like, nigga, can I borrow a fry?
Come on, can a nigga borrow a French fry? Nigga,
how is you gonna borrow a fry? Nigga, is you gonna give it back? Nigga, is you gonna give it back?
Right,
He says nigga all the time. Nigga this,
nigga that.
How are you gonna borrow a French fry?
Bruh. But Sherelle over here timing us for 10 minutes. Unfortunately. But speaking of I know but I know like for a bit like y'all wanted to also talk about, that actually derives into mental health. Men, especially black men, and how black women are perceived too as supposed to be this strong, independent person, and we can't hold it down. I mean, we have to hold it down for ourselves, and I feel like it's true. Like we really like black women. We create everything. Like I saw this video where this woman was going off on someone in the airplane, and she was like, "I could produce white people, like I could produce a baby that has blue eyes. We're the creators, and so I feel like a lot of that could be projection, and it is true. Like we are the epitome of society pretty much, but it's a whole weight on our shoulders, and ain't nobody talking about black people and their mental health, and it's very important.
Yeah, it's like to add on to that, like when it comes to like men's mental health, because I know everybody goes through stuff, bro. I'm like, we not perfect. We're not just gonna sit here and act like we go through day-to-day life just, getting over with it. Because I know, hell, even for myself, like, I've been through a lot in my life, like, just, like, growing up and all that. And then, like, one factor I say that, like, really hit me in my chest hard is I lost my grandma at a very young age. And I was hella close to her. And, like, she's right here on my chain, too. But, like, she was like my rock and stuff, but I mean, like, for us as black men, like, nobody really talks about it because we supposed to be the leaders, the alphas and stuff. We not supposed to be crying or doing any of that thing. I'm like, bro, but like, it's okay to show emotion though, because I'm like, we also know that we gotta, every single thing that we have going on with us, we gotta stuff that shit down and move on. That's what everybody expects us to do. I'm like, at the end of the day, we all human beings, we all have emotions, bro. Like, real talk, it's okay to cry, bro. Nobody gonna sit here and be like, bro, like, you a bitch for crying. Like,
right.
No, because I'm at the end of the day, bro, you gotta let that shit out, bro.
I think it goes into, like, the whole fact that it's like, oh, if a black man is crying, he's automatically gay. And it's like, or he's sissy, or he this, or he that, and it's like, it's like, there's no.
Stop! No, hold on. No, because I'm thinking, because remember we had this talk, we kind of talked about it, and we kind of talked about the whole, like, calling people sassy and stuff like that. That's why, because I was like, we talked about it. That's why I looked at you.
Apocalypse.
And a lot of black men don't want to show that vulnerability side because they get called like either like a girl, like, that's for girls to be crying and be vulnerable, but it takes away what y'all showing y'all true emotions and how y'all truly feel, and creates toxic relationships.
And toxic relationships like that. And I really feel like black men need to hold themselves, like in between themselves accountable for that as well. Because a big part of where that sentiment comes from, it comes from other men. And I'm not saying like, oh, nobody else is at fault. Other people are at fault for, upholding it. But, at the end of the day, like, I really feel like that's something men should definitely hold themselves accountable for.
I agree with her. Like, men to men, like a black man to a black man, like you said, he's going to call you a sissy for explaining how you feel or expressing how you feel. Like, what is wrong with you, bro? Like, I should be able to confide in you and, like, discuss how I feel. And then we can grow from that and further help, our other compadres.
And then black women are always the ones that have to show that emotion and be this and that in full front. But then when we want to be independent, we're on our masculinity side,
I don't really know about that. I feel like that independent side is the lack of leadership of men. I feel like that's where that mostly comes from, because it's like being spoiled. Like, if you had the opportunity to be spoiled, would you be like, I mean, might as well. It's free. I'm getting spoiled. Why not?
Right.
Like, it's a point of like where some women are kind of forced into that position because rather the man's either immature or he's lacking leadership. So it's like, well, it's like I really got no choice. It's like, even if I wanted to be this way, I ain't got no choice. Like, I have to be this way.
But some women also want, they don't find vulnerability in men. Yeah. They want someone to care for them, but they don't find that in men. And in this day and age, like, men have been coming out of their shells more and more. And especially with the new generation, they've definitely been like, no, I'm going to talk to you, like, because we're all human at the end of the day. And we both have feelings. So I've definitely been seeing it come out more and being recognized, but it's not talked about enough in the community.
That's true. Me personally, I cry. I'll cry in front of a girl, especially if, like, we're in a relationship. Like, shoot, you know how they be like, I'm not going to use that one. But, like, I was thinking of something else. But I'm that person who will be like, yeah, like, I'm hurt about this. I'm not about to act like I'm not, because if it's not, if I'm act like it's not, the problem's
that's a lack
fixed.
Of communication.
Yeah, and it's a lack of communication, which causes more issues. Like, I just don't understand it. I guess it's because, like, my dad too is like, I've seen him cry from, like, joy and stuff, or like because his mother passed, my grandmother. So I understand at a young age, and that was his best friend. So, like, I seen him cry from stuff like that, and go to my mom for it. And he's not really too, like, cry baby, really. It's just certain things he will cry, and it's not like he's gonna hide it, but it's not like he's gonna display it either. Like, I'm crying about this, which I guess that's kind of how I am, because I can be a little emotional sometimes, but I get over things quick too. So it's like I don't mind sharing the way I feel, because I know I'm gonna get past it.
Right.
Personally.
In my relationship, one of the biggest issues that we had in the beginning is that he believes that men are supposed to be the leaders. They aren't supposed to be emotional and blah, 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 blah. First off, no. And then he goes on this whole thing about how, yeah, okay, you personally, you might care about emotions and the men emotions, whatever, but society isn't going to care. Who came up with this idea? Men. So at the end of the day, if you want, like...
Okay, well, that kind of goes into what I was saying. I was trying to find a cute way to say it. But yeah, definitely, like, I definitely think it should be more men holding each other accountable. And this is also a completely different conversation. I really don't like when people bring up kind of like men's issues as a way to kind of like put down other women's issues. Which kind of, it's like they're bringing up like, okay, well, black women are struggling with this, women are struggling with this. And mind you, this is just, we're talking about men and women. We're not even including other gender identities.
Yeah.
So, bring it up to kind of like counter an issue that women are suffering with.
Yeah, especially in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, we're not talking about all men. If you feel some type of way, then right. And that's the crazy thing, because there'll be a post about women, and then some men will come in there like.
Yeah. And then I don't really think people realize that, and with them doing this, they're doing a disservice to men, because you're not really bringing,
Right.
you're not really showing how important it is. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think men's worst enemy when it comes to like mental health is themselves. Like for me, for example, I've been told since like a very young age, I would always keep things like bottled up and never let my emotions show. And my dad would be like, I really like that about you. Like that's a good trait to have. And I didn't break out of that and realize it was a bad thing till like high school, freshman year. I was like, wait a minute.
Being a good trait, that's crazy.
That's crazy, because like it would just come out in other ways. Like I would just like shut down and like not talk to anyone. There'd be like, I would go like just way too long without eating. Like you wouldn't eat until you ate and it hurt. So it just comes out in other ways. You don't show the emotion, but it comes out.
Yeah, and I have a younger brother who he's I guess you could say introverted, but he doesn't like to talk about his feelings, and I want him like to be a person that can talk about mental health with, anybody that he feels comfortable with. So I tell him all the time, like, I'm emotional. If you need to cry, just cry. I'll probably cry with you. I do that for my friends as well. I will cry with you, and we can just talk it out, because keeping it inside is just going to destroy you.
Yeah, and I think, like, especially going back to what y'all saying, y'all parents, like, one thing, my generation, some of them are millennial, so we're known as, like, the hard, generation, and that's just really because of, our parents, the way that treated us. Like, my grandma would be that, like, go out there and get that switch. Y'all probably grew up that way too, but, like, the new generation is supposedly too soft, and it's just like, who told either of us that? Like, I don't, why are we deemed as too hard? Why are y'all deemed as too soft? Like, we should all just collectively be able to show our emotions regardless, there shouldn't be no title to it. We should all just collectively be vulnerable. But there's also a level of forgiveness too when it comes to like how we were raised and who we were raised by. Because being raised by my grandmother, I was essentially raised just like my dad. So, and at some point, like, she passed away too, and it's like, first of all, why our grandma was gone, man. But yeah, but just knowing to like being able to finally hold ourselves accountable and moving forward and moving on from that cycle, because my generation is technically the generation curse breakers, and then y'all's too, like, y'all seeping in. Oh man, I'm 29. Damn. I'm like,
No, you said yourself. It was such a perfect joke. Y'all know.
Damn.
Y'all know what clip?
3-0. You're going to hell.
Y'all know what clip I'm talking about, right? He was like, how old are you?
Oh, that kid.
Yeah, like,
Bruh.
he's like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. They
Bruh,
got
bruh.
Oh,
Man.
You know your season.
Yeah. I mean, I it's cause like I've taken gap years, so you know I decided to go back to school because it's never too late, by the way. But yeah, like I'm like at the cusp of Gen Z, so like I'm seeing like a significant change, and I'm like so happy that there are generations that are speaking up for themselves and showing the youth, you know, to do that. And especially within the Black community, and bringing them together and showing them that it's okay to be raised this way in like this environment, you know, but you're gonna make it out and you're gonna be able to be successful, and we are witnessing that. So it's like, you know, a little butterfly in my stomach. Dang, Sherelle. Well, anyway, not the, what is that, when our time runs out on the awards, the song comes on. I'm just like, dang. But yeah, it takes a lot, and it takes a village, and I feel like that village is coming back, you know, and we're having these conversations about mental health, and we're having these conversations about the Black community. And I appreciate y'all for showing up, first of all, because at first I was like, dang, man, where everybody at, you know?
CPT.
I hope people, y'all was definitely on CP time.
I'm not gonna lie though.
Sherelle.
Like whenever y'all have more of these, of course I'm showing my face every time. So.
Oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be more of these, even when Sherelle's gone. I hope. I'm definitely gonna, you know, we at the end of the semester, and that's also when, like, you know, y'all take care of yourselves. Y'all take care of your mental health. Y'all take a break if you.
What did you just say?
Good night.
Eat 3 meals a day and stay hydrated.
No, for real though. Like, take a break, because I finished 2 projects. Well, yeah, 2 presentations, and I'm taking a break. I know I got other stuff that I gotta finish by next week, but I'm taking, like, I was like, this weekend I'm about to just take that break. Next week is Thanksgiving. We're gonna be with our families. I know the holidays is especially hard, so we definitely, you know, just take care of yourselves. And yes, there will be more to come. There will be more like little panel-ish type vibes. And then if we don't get those opportunities, y'all are more than welcome to like hop on the show at the radio station. There definitely will be more shows and opportunities in the future. I'm gonna continue to go, because, you know, Sherelle is giving me this little, you better get your ass on and keep going, you know. So looking forward to that. Thank y'all for joining the live, even though they're, well, okay, one person joined the live late. But, you know, for those that did join the live, very appreciate it. For those that are listening in, I know that there's some people out there that are listening in. I usually have my iPad, you know, to check messages and stuff. You know, usually my girlfriend's texting me. She probably texted me a couple times. She has this thing where if however many times I say my girlfriend, we gotta take a shot. So, but we ain't got no drink, and we gonna do that anyways. We in school, allegedly. We don't condone this.
No underage drinking.
No underage drinking. But again, Sherelle, thank you for allowing this to happen, allowing this to work, and collabing with the BSU. And I definitely, shut up, Siri, dang, always catching on. But until we meet again, as always, stay blessed, my friends. Bye, y'all.
Of course. Oh, bye.
Bye, you people.
See y'all on the next one. Type shit.
Thank y'all for joining.
Keep standing on business.
Keep it
Crack.
Yeah. Stumping on business. Are you even standing on it though? You can't. Yes. On me, you not standing on business. Oh God, your ass getting crushed right now.
It was a joy talking about traumas and racism.